Our success comes from doing something different. However, even that success will become the same if we don't change. Welcome to episode 203 of the Walking Leader Podcast. As always, the Walking Leader Podcast is an audio tool for you, current and future leaders, to sharpen your skills and hone your craft. My name is David Guerra, and I'm here to help you every step of the way. So, let's get started with this episode. And again, welcome to episode 203. In this episode, we're talking about learning from our successes. Why is it important to learn from our success? Because if we want to repeat success, if we want more success, if we want to grow, then we have to learn from our successes, just like we learn from our mistakes, so we don't repeat the same mistakes. And if when we do make mistakes, well, we make better mistakes. We grew from the past mistakes. We're not repeating the same thing over. And the same thing with success. Success is fleeting. It's always going away. It's the moment you succeed is the moment it starts dwindling. If you're not acting on it, if you're not working from it, if you're not learning from it. See, who should be learning from our successes? You, me, everyone, especially those you lead. Remember, you as a leader are leading by example. So you have no choice because, as I said, success is always fleeting. It is important to learn now and not later. Right now, while you still have that success, while that wave of success is still can be ridden, but when it comes crashing down and you're trying to scramble to repeat that or get a new success or start something new or begin, well, guess what? You might not get there. You need to learn now. Learn now what you're doing and constantly be evaluating yourself and reevaluating that success. Same thing with the failure. You learn that lesson. You're constantly evaluating. What did we do wrong? How do we make it better? And in this case, you ask yourself, what did we do right? What do we do to make it better? How do we stay successful? How do we keep remaining successful? See, what do you do with what you've learned from your successes? What do you do with all that knowledge? Well, you repeat success, not based on doing the same old thing, because eventually that success will become the same old thing. So it worked once, it may work twice, but three or more, you might get lucky, but it's not forever. It's not ad infinitum. No, it's going to go away. It's going to dwindle away. So you've got to learn not to repeat the success based on doing the same old thing. You also have to learn how to create new successes with the same product or service. Whatever you're doing, whatever your success is in, you have to learn how to create new success, okay? Building off the old success and adding and creating and innovating, and how to expand on that success across multiple products or services. So if you're in one of those businesses that you sell one widget A and you have product C, but the success is all in widget A, yeah, but you're going to learn how to tweak it and make it successful for product C, and so on and so on. But guess what? In the end, it's all about you. It's all about how do you to grow as an individual based on the successes, and remember, failure, because failure is a huge part of success. We can't have success unless we have failure. And if somebody tells you different, well, they're wrong. I'm here to tell you they are wrong. They're selling you a pipe dream, and guess what? It's not going to go anywhere. It's just that simple. So ensure that as an individual, you're learning the successes, learning from your successes. Learn what you did right, and how do you change it and move forward and reshape it, realign it for future successes. Because remember, as they say for those people that are investing in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, right? Past success is not an indicator of future success. So just be aware that just because you won once does not mean you're going to win again. It's not guaranteed. And especially if you're not innovating, you're not looking forward, you're not changing with the times, you're not rolling with the punches, you're going to get exactly what you deserve. And at that point, if you're not doing any of that, what you deserve is nothing. And that's exactly where you're going to get a heaping spoonful of, there you go, heaping spoonful. Okay, there you go. See, got to work it. But you should always be learning from your success under all conditions. That's what I'm getting at, is always be learning, reevaluating, readjusting, taking it in and working from that. But all the time, you don't stop. You don't stop learning from your successes. Always, all conditions, rainy, shiny, cloudy, snowy, blustery winds, hurricanes. Every opportunity for success is also an opportunity to learn from. It's a teachable moment. Each and every success is a teachable moment. It's also a moment you don't rest on your laurels because you are trying to get ahead. You're trying to move forward. You're trying to get there. So understand that when you as a leader stop learning, that's when the success also stops. And so remember that. Now, how do you go about learning from your success or our successes? How do we go about doing that? Well, it's simple. We observe. We sit there and we observe what we've done. Yes, we're in action. We're making things happen. But we also have to, take a step back and decide what is good, what is bad, and how we learn from that. And we observe that. We observe it, and then we take it in. We absorb it. We take that as an input. We take that data, input it into our minds, and we start processing it. We recognize what's working now, what may work later, what you'd like to try later, and you recognize what is not working now and may work later. Do you see where that's going? Maybe it's too early for this, and once you get brand recognition or once you get more individuals to buy into what you're offering, whatever the product or the service is or leadership is, and you're trying to build a team, maybe a different tactic would work later on down the road. And it's not gaining any traction today, but it's one of those that you have to sit there and process and watch it. You have to watch it, constantly evolving, because there may be something that did not work today, did not work yesterday. And guess what? It worked tomorrow morning, and it worked for the first 4 hours tomorrow morning. Then it stopped working again. So observing everything constantly. You cannot just like, okay, well, we'll take it at this and we'll take it at face value and move on. No, that's not going to work. So recognizing, again, what will work now, what will work later, what is not working now, and what might not work later, or what's not working now will work later. See, it's a lot of data that you've got to process, a lot of data you have to analyze, you have to process. But doing that on a constant, consistent basis is what's going to take you to that next level. And it'll take you to the next level. And folks, most people don't tell you that. Because, hey, why are they going to give away their secret to success? So that's the thing. It involves work. It involves work. That they'll tell you. They'll tell you it's work, and they hope that they scare you off with that because they don't want to repeat. They don't want the competition. But you know what? There's plenty for everyone. So what do? You've observed, you have absorbed, you have absorbed, and you've processed it. Now what do? Well, you implement. It's like I said, it's work. It's going to take work. You're implementing, putting into action what you learned. You make those fine-tuned adjustments. You tweak it. You move on. Did it work? Did it not work? You come back and repeat the process all over again. You observe, you analyze, you decide, and then you act. And repeat again and again. It's nonstop. But it's something that, as long as you're progressing, you can keep doing forever and ever. And building on the success of yesterday will get you a success tomorrow. It's when you stop and when you say, oh, well, let's just write it out and see what happens, then you're done. It is that simple. So learning from our successes is a long process, just like creating the success. And even then, we're still learning through that process of creating success. We're working through it. We're learning everything there is to learn. And we're sharing that with our followers. We're sharing that with our team members. We're sharing that with our peers. You have no choice. Remember, you are leading by example. And you recognize that there's some rules that you have to follow when it comes to learning from our successes. That success has and does involve change. It's all about change and modifying and implementing something new and tweaking it and adjusting and making it. But without change, it's not going to happen. It's going to become the same old thing, and then eventually people are just going to get tired of it. Remember, you've got to grow as an individual based on the successes and the failure, because as I mentioned more than once, failure is a huge part of success. Always be learning. You should always be learning. Never stop learning. Always keep your eye out. And again, observe, orient, decide, and act on what you've learned to increase the chances of success in the future. Because it worked yesterday does not necessarily mean it's going to work again tomorrow. That's why you've got to keep working on it. Don't stop working on it. All right, well, we're here at the end. And as always, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or remarks about this week's episode, do not hesitate. Drop me an email, dave@daveguerra.com, and mention, please, episode 203, Learning from Our Successes. Also, I do invite you to follow me on my social media channels, on Twitter @Dave Guerra, all one word, Instagram, Dave_Guerra, or on Facebook at facebook.com/TheDavidGuerra, again, all one word. I want to thank you again for taking the time to listen to episode 203, and join me on our next episode where we continue our focus on lessons in leadership. And until then, take care of yourself, take care of each other, listen to each other, and talk to each other. And also remember to always go beyond the grind and go beyond the hustle, because today and every day, that is the only way to be the walking leader and a leader that is truly great to follow.